Chairman Velasquez, Ranking Member Shabbat, and members of the House Small Business Committee, I am honored to be here today speaking on behalf of the millions of small business owners across America to discuss updating and improving the SBA's small business contracting programs. And while our constituents are women, they are also included in HUB zones, 8As, and service-disabled veterans. In a recent hearing before this committee, Ranking Member Shabbat asked me what principal changes I would make in order to remedy some of the failings of the SBA. While my view is that many of the challenges we see come from a failure of leadership and commitment of the SBA, it is also clear that there are several areas in which Congress can help the process of improvement through legislative action. As these programs are facilitated by the SBA and assessed by this committee, it is critically important that the committee observe three things: the quality and commitment of the implementation by the SBA, the quality of expected outcomes, and the consequences of the unexpected outcomes. In looking at women-owned small business programs, the Small Business Administration has shown a lack of commitment to the women's program that this very committee has designed. It has been nearly 7 years, and it sounds like it'll be more than 7 years, since this women's side legislation has become law, and we are still waiting for the regulations to be published, the list of underrepresented industries to be published, and the FAR updated so that agency leaders may effectively leverage this program. In the interim, the SBA has stated many times that their website, women's office, and matchmaking sessions are more than enough to serve women small business owners. Unfortunately, the statistics do not support this assertion. Women own 1/3 of all businesses in the United States and more than 50% of all small businesses, but we still only secure 3.4% of all contracting dollars. I call upon this committee today to take action. The SBA has tried every way possible to avoid compliance with this law. Simply writing letters to the SBA doesn't help. Calling SBA leaders into these hearings hasn't helped. So now I strongly urge you to establish very clear legislation that compels the SBA to implement this program. The method of collecting and assessing the data was made clear by the NAS. The RAND study collected the data and reported the women-owned small businesses are underrepresented in federal contracting in over 87% of all industries. Again, I ask you to compel the SBA to implement this 7-year-old law. For the 8A program, we are not seeing broad-based activity in the 8A program. A lot of emphasis is placed in signing business up as 8A contractors, but now we need the SBA to work diligently with these businesses and with agency leaders to achieve the real 8A goals. We need to increase the net worth provisions and the time businesses may stay in the 8A program so that they can reach the level of size and strength and survive after they graduate the 8A program. Our HUB Zone program. A prime concern with the HUB Zone program has been the validity of HUB Zone contractors and the inappropriate leveraging of the HUB Zone designation when performing work clearly well outside of the HUB Zone. You need to tighten up the process for being designated as HUB Zone. Additionally, there are several general small business contracting issues that I believe should be addressed. Transparency. I strongly encourage you to require that the SBA provide a much deeper reporting that shows the true representation of diversity for contracts going to small businesses. We need to measure the total number of small businesses receiving contracts by agency and small business program and the disbursement of these contracts by size and location. The size standards. I encourage you to require annual reporting on employment and revenue for all SBA small business contracting programs. We need to assure that the firms taking part in small business programs are small. For the goals, I encourage you to push goaling more deeply by requiring the establishment of prime contract and subcontracting goals for each SBA program within each agency. Accountability. We need to hold agencies accountable at the top levels, starting with the secretaries and including the program managers. Integrity of contractors. Given the large amount of fraud we have seen in small business programs and federal contracting in general, I encourage you to require a background of integrity to take part in any SBA small business program. And finally, effective implementation of small business contracting programs. I hear time and time again from agency, small business, and contracting personnel that the small business contracting programs are challenging and time-consuming. Consequently, the small business contracting programs are not utilized to their fullest extent. I encourage you to consider this when drafting legislation. I thank you for the opportunity to make these views heard before this committee, and I applaud your diligence on behalf of small business and hope you'll act now to improve the SBA small business contracting programs.